السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إن المتقين مفازا حدائق وأعنابا وكواعب أترابا وكأسا دحاقا لا يسمعون فيها لغوا ولا كذابا جزاء من ربك عطاء حسابا رب السماوات والأرض وما بينهما الرحمن لا يملكون منه خطابا يوم يقوم الروح والملائكة صفا لا يتكلمون إلا من أذن له الرحمن وقال صوابا ذلك اليوم الحق فمن شاء اتخذ إلى ربه مآبا إنا أنذرناكم عذابا قريبا يوم ينظر المرء ما قدمت يداه ويقول الكافر يا ليتني كنت ترابا. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق الإنسان من علق اقرأ وربك الأكرم الذي علم بالقلم علم الإنسان ما لم يعلم كلا إن الإنسان ليطغى أن رآه استغنى ثم إلى ربك الرجعى أرأيت الذي ينهى عبدا إذا صلى أرأيت إن كذب وتولى ألم يعلم بأن الله يرى. صدق الله العظيم.
Thank you. No. أحباب السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. You guys still hungry? Tired? What's the tired? Huh? That's okay. See what's going on here. طيب أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين وأصلي وأسلم على المبعوث رحمة للعالمين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين أما بعد. أحباب مصطفى عليه الصلاة والسلام, welcome to Istiqlal Family Night for the month of August. Okay. We are very happy to see all of you here in the masjid again. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless all of you. I hope everybody is enjoying their summer, that for the young friends is slowly or quickly coming to an end. For the adults like myself, makes no difference. We still have to go to work on Monday morning. Nothing changes, right? The topic for this evening, inshallah, is back to school. Right? What are some things that we can keep in mind as we get ready to go back to school. Now you might think, well, this doesn't relate to everyone, right? Because not everybody is going back to school. But inshallah, today's halaqa is dedicated to young friends who are going back to elementary school, middle school, high school, college, university, or any other type of school for that matter. And if you are a parent, perhaps you will benefit from our discussion. And if you are not a parent, like myself, maybe one day you will benefit from these ideas and apply them, inshallah. First things first, where is everybody today? I feel like I'm missing a lot of people today. Not that I don't like seeing the guys who are here, mashallah, you guys are amazing. But there are a few people that I am missing that I normally see. Any idea? Now? Is it raining?
It was raining.
When? Where? Okay. Because in Brampton, wallah, we had rain in the forecast, but it never rained. The whole day didn't rain. Okay, so maybe the rain threw some people off. I know Mas Agur and his family are on vacation. Anybody else out of the country or anything? Oh yes, the family is out of the country as well, yeah. Very good. You went fishing? But you came back. But did you catch anything? Okay. Good. There should be no fishing. On family night, no fishing. Haram. No, mashallah, alhamdulillah, we have a good jama'ah that is here with us and we enjoyed our dinner together. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless everybody who participated and contributed. It's the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, by the way, fun fact for you guys. The Prophet ﷺ was aware of his congregation and he used to ask about people. If he didn't see people, he would ask. And there's many hadith that point to this. That the Prophet ﷺ after Fajr, especially, he would turn around in his masjid and he would look to see who is in the masjid, and then he would ask the Sahaba, where is your brother so-and-so? Where is so-and-so? How come I didn't see them for the past 2 days? How come I didn't see them for 3 days? And he would inquire and ask about people because he cared about people, right? And so this is something that we try to practice as well, that if we don't see some people, we inquire. Maybe somebody is not well, maybe something happened, maybe somebody had an emergency. You never know. But it seems, alhamdulillah, that everybody is okay. They're either on vacation or caught in the rain. Then we are good to proceed, inshallah. So, our discussion on back to school, inshallah, is not going to be too long and it's not going to take too much of our time either. And I want to focus on 3 things specifically. Why 3 things? Because the human's mind has a fantastic ability to retain approximately 3 things, right? More than that, sometimes you attend, maybe you guys have experience, you attend a lecture or a workshop or a khutbah or something, and someone says, today I'm going to share with you 9 points or 7 points or 13 points. Who's going to remember? Which human is going to take away 13 points and remember all of them? If you write, inshallah, then you'll remember, yes. But I don't see any pens or papers. Other than Brother Ned, he's taking notes as everybody can see. I'm just bugging you, may Allah bless you. Brother Ned is amazing. Right? But the Prophet ﷺ, his practice was, and if you open the books of hadith, you will find many statements and reminders that the Prophet ﷺ gave were in bunches of 3. I'll give you one example. The Prophet ﷺ said, اتَّقِ اللَّهَ حَيْثُمَا كُنْتُ وَأَتْبِعِ السَّيِّئَةَ الْحَسَنَةَ تَمْحُوهَا وَخَالِقِ النَّاسِ بِخُلُقٍ حَسَنٍ. Fear Allah wherever you are. If you make a mistake, follow it up with a good deed or wipe it out. Treat people with good manners. 3 things. The average human being, 3 things if you tell him, he can remember. These days we complain that people have short attention span and stuff like that. It's not only a problem today. Yes, our devices and gadgets have heightened that problem. But even in the time of the Prophet ﷺ, he was intelligent enough and he was, the best leader. He knew that people are not going to retain too much information. Give them something little, let them take it home, remember it, think about it, reflect on it, and inshallah, apply it. So our discussion today will center around 3 points. Let's begin. Number one, we want to highlight for our young friends, especially who are going back to school, the importance of being eager to learn and trying your best. Okay? There's a concept that the Muslim should be looking forward to learning, right? I know there's lots of stuff around going to school that we may enjoy, right? Let's take some examples. What do you enjoy about going to school?
Seeing friends.
Very good. Rizka, what do you enjoy about going to school? Something else? Huh? Okay, playing sports, mashallah, good. Mashallah, very nice. Playing basketball, good. Anybody else have anything else? What else do you guys enjoy about going to school? My young friend, what do you enjoy about going to school? Seeing friends, good, mashallah, right? So there's many things that we can enjoy about going to school. But on the list of things that we should have in mind when we go to school as a Muslim is that we are looking to learn something. It's very important, right? A Muslim should be excited and should be looking forward to learning something. Every day that a Muslim child goes to school, the goal should be what? Besides going there safely, coming home safely, playing sports, meeting friends, whatever the story might be, the goal should be to learn something. And it's extremely important. The ayat that Razka recited for us in the beginning of our program, the last surah that he recited, Surah Al-Alaq, which was the first revelation ever given to the Prophet ﷺ, begins with what? Allah says, اقرأ بسم ربك الذي خلق. Read. We are an ummah, we are a nation of people that learn. We are the only religion on planet Earth that our religion started with a command to learn. Right? I'm no expert, so I can't tell you how Christianity started, what's the first verse in the Bible or anything like that. But I can tell you for a fact that Islam is the only religion that has put education as its number one priority. Just imagine the Prophet ﷺ is becoming a messenger of Allah for the first time. How many things are there that are important that Allah could have told the Prophet ﷺ? He could have told him, pray to your Lord. He could have told him, memorize this Qur'an that I'm about to give you. He could have told him, be careful and prepare for the Day of Judgment. So many things that Allah could have told the Prophet ﷺ for the first time. But when Allah selected Muhammad ﷺ to be the last and final messenger and made him the Imam of the Muslim Ummah, our nation, what did He tell him first? He said, read. Giving us an indication that as Muslims, the most important thing for us is reading and learning. By the way, how do you get an education? By reading, right? You cannot get an education without reading. One of the problems plaguing some segments of society today is they consume content and think they're educated. This doesn't cut it. No amount of TikToks that you watch can make you a competent physician or a competent electrician or a competent football player or anything for that matter, a good mom, a good husband. It's not by consuming 30-second bites of information that you will become good at something. It's by reading, studying, learning, practicing, being mentored. This is how you acquire skills and become proficient at something. You may become aware of a lot of things by taking in content, but you by no means become educated and skilled in that field. So an eagerness to learn is the first thing that I want everyone to take with them, inshallah, as they go back to school. And, maybe this is hard for people to imagine or to internalize, but really and truly, like, my value as a human being, your value as a human being, besides our worship of Allah, is what we know, right? Your value is what you know. My value is what I know. Then a day shouldn't pass except that my value increases. Let me spin it for you a different way, especially for the adults still relate to this. Every day of our life, we work and we earn money. And if a day went where you didn't earn money, how would you feel? Could it be that another day passed and I'm not in any position, I didn't earn anything from that day, I didn't earn any extra money from that day, nobody will accept this. Because then what did I do with my day? If I left home in the morning, I went somewhere, I came back in the evening, and at the end of all of it, I wasn't paid. Can somebody be okay with that? Because we understand that the value of that day is in the money that we earned from that work that we did. This is about money. But from a different perspective, human being, our worth and our value is what we know. And every single day, that level and that worth should be increasing. We should know something new. And I hope everyone understands here that when we talk about Islam promoting education and the importance of reading, I don't mean reading the Qur'an only. I don't only mean reading hadith and reading the seerah. Anything that is beneficial. When I'm encouraging my young friends to learn something every day, I don't mean you have to learn an ayah every day. If you can learn an ayah every day, that's so great, that's amazing, phenomenal. There's nothing better than that. But learn something new in math every day. Learn something new in science. Learn something new in social studies, or history, or geography, or biology, or chemistry, or physics, whatever the field of study you're interested in, whatever courses you are taking, whatever subjects you're studying in school. Make sure it is something you don't allow that the day starts in the morning. You wake up, you don't go to sleep except that you've learned something new for that day. You can have this mindset. If every day you learn something new, then you will find that at the end of the school year, you accumulated how much? I don't know, 300 new pieces of information. You do this for a couple of years, inshallah, you will be somebody who has a lot of worth and a lot of value. And I'm not saying you will be worthless if you don't, if you're not the most educated person. But I am saying that education is extremely, extremely important. And it is the number one priority of our deen. By the way, education is religious. Education can be secular. Education can be, about life, about, finance, about family, about whatever it is. But from an Islamic perspective, any of this education that is beneficial will be rewarded by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As a Muslim, anything I learn that is for my betterment as a human being, Allah appreciates. And He will reward me for seeking out that knowledge. The Prophet ﷺ, he encouraged us to seek knowledge. He said seeking knowledge and learning new things is obligatory upon every believer. طَلَبُ الْعِلْمِ فَرِيضَةٌ عَلَى كُلِّ مُسْلِمٍ وَمُسْلِمَةٍ. He didn't say seeking religious knowledge. He said learning something. Anything. Whatever it is that you're learning in your life, as long as it can add value to your life, add value to your family's life, add value to your community around you, it is something that Allah will reward you for. The eagerness to learn and the, desire to learn is something that we find in the Qur'an from Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam. And I want you guys to remember this story. If you forget everything that I said for the last 7 minutes, remember this story. That Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam, in the Qur'an, Allah tells us the story of Musa alayhi salam, that Allah explained to him that there is a man who is alive, he lives in a certain place, he knows things that you don't know. I want you to appreciate with me, Allah never told Musa alayhi salam that that man knows more than you. It doesn't come in the Qur'an like that. Allah, by the way, we're talking about Khidr alayhi salam. Allah never told Musa alayhi salam that Khidr knows more than you. Allah simply said He knows some things that you don't know. What did Musa alayhi salam say? He said, Ya Allah, show me where I can find that guy, so I can go learn from him. It doesn't matter if I know more than him, he knows more than me. The point is, he knows something I don't know. That's something that he knows that I don't know, I want to go and learn. So what does Musa alayhi salam do? He travels. He travels to go and meet that man. He is the messenger of Allah. Who is Musa alayhi salam? Musa alayhi salam is the one who received the Torah. He's the one who used to speak to Allah. He's the one who climbed the mountain and he asked to see Allah. Musa alayhi salam is one of the greatest human beings to ever exist on the face of planet Earth. But when he finds out that there's somebody who knows something that he doesn't know, he wants to go meet him. Now when he meets him, what does he say? He very politely, respectfully asks Khidr alayhi salam, هَلْ أَتَّبِعُكَ عَلَىٰ أَن تُعَلِّمَنِ مِمَّا عُلِّمْتَ رُشْدًا? Do you mind? Is it possible? Can I follow you so I can learn some of the things that you have been blessed to know? That level of eagerness and that level of desire to want to learn, to want to improve, to want to become better. right? It's something that we can take inspiration from Musa alayhi salam. So as a young individual who's getting ready to go back to school, a young boy, a young girl, whether you're in grade school, university, or college, make sure that as you prepare for the first week of September, your goal is what? Your goal is to learn new things. And learning will never hurt you. There is nothing that you will learn and eventually it will be bad for you. Knowing new things, learning new things is always for your betterment, inshallah. Attached to the eagerness to learn, keep in mind, inshallah, and we're moving quickly to the second point after this, don't settle for less. Be excited and eager to learn something new every day, and don't settle for less than that. Don't settle for being, an average student, right? Unfortunately, we have people who are very comfortable being average. Inshallah, none of you here. But some people very comfortable being average. Can a Muslim be average? Maybe yes, there's some average Muslim, but I'm going to say no, Muslim shouldn't be average. The Muslim is exceptional. The Muslim is the very best at what they do. All of you young friends, inshallah, who go to school, the expectation is, and I'm not joking, that you are one of the top performing students in your class. Not because of anything other than the fact that you are a Muslim. Is this because of racism or Islamic superiority or some kind of ideology that thinks that Muslims are superior? No. The concept is very basic. I'm a Muslim, you're a Muslim, we have Allah on our side. Allah has given us structure to our life. Allah has given us a schedule for our life. He's given us guidance. He is there to help us. If you're struggling with something, just make salah and ask Allah to help you. If you're struggling to understand something, ask Allah to open up your mind and your heart to be able to comprehend it. And then go seek help and ask people who know. Allah tells us in the Qur'an, if you struggle to understand something, ask someone who's an expert. They will be able to help you. Then every Muslim should be a high achiever. Every Muslim should be excelling at what they do. No Muslim should be happy to just be average. Especially for my young friends, I want you to take this to heart and live by it, inshallah. You have every opportunity in your hand to excel. In order to excel, you need to have big goals, right? So and this you can tell who will excel and who won't excel is based on what their objective is. If you ask somebody, what is your goal for the school year 2023, 2024? He says, I'm hoping to pass all my classes. You already know what he's going to do. This guy will be lucky to achieve an average of 55%. That will be like, wow, he's flying. He achieved the greatest. Because had he got 51% as an average, he would have been just fine. But you talk to somebody else and you say, what are your goals for this year? And they tell you that this year I'm trying to make sure I do better than last year. So what did you do last year? I finished the school year with an average of 90%, 88%, 87%, 85%. What's your goal this year? I want to get above 90. That's my goal. Or for my younger friends, last year I got A's on most of my subjects. This year my goal is I want to get A's on all of my subjects. This is what you call having a big goal. And if you have a big goal and that eagerness to learn, believe you me, you will achieve something great. And there is no reason that you should settle for anything less than that. I can't talk to the guys who are online, but for those of you who are here, my young friends who are going back to school, does anybody have, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect all of us, but does anybody have any limitation? Is something holding you back from studying and doing well on your tests and on your assignments and on your exams? Like, did Allah create you with half a brain? Are you missing one hand? You struggle to write? Are you illiterate? Are you unable to read? We were all born, most of us, in this beautiful country where we have access to education. All of us can read and write. School is free. Our parents pay a hefted tax. I fully understand. I'm not a parent, but I see what goes off my paycheck, right? But at the end of the day, the school is free for our kids to walk into. After all of that opportunity that we've been afforded, you have every opportunity to be a very, very successful young boy or very, very successful young girl and do very well in school. The key is, don't settle for anything less than being the best. Somebody might say, and I'm not trying to put the effort, but if I wanted to, I could scan the eyes of my young friends and find the guys who are saying, Why is this guy putting so much pressure on us? Why is he making it more difficult than it already is? Let me ask you a question. If you think this is difficult, just be honest with yourself. There's other aspects of your life where you would never settle for less. Who games in the audience? Young friends, don't lie. Who games? Do you game? You guys are forcing me to do a survey. Do you game? What do you play? Racing games, good. Do you game? What do you play? Pardon? Rather not tell, fair enough. Do you game? What do you play? Okay. Do you game, my friend? What do you play? What do you say? Rather not tell. No problem. Do you game? You don't game? Wow, welcome to my world. Amazing. Do you game? What do you play? Like what? Okay. Milad, do you game? No time to game, eh? By the way, if I have time, I still occasionally, I was an addict of the FIFA games. I used to spend hours and hours and hours on that. And for anyone who knows, there's something called Ultimate Team in FIFA. And there was a time, I think I was in grade 10 those days, and I was in the top 100 players in the world playing FIFA. Yeah, amazing. But I used to spend a crazy amount of time playing. And the only reason I achieved that, I never got back to those heights ever again. That was the first year that Ultimate Team was released. So I kind of had, maybe there was less competitors in the online arena for that at that time. Now there's, hundreds of millions of people that play it, and I don't have the time to compete at that level. Girls, do any of you guys game? Shahira, where's Shahira? Do you game? What do you play? What games? Mobile games. Okay, fair enough. Yeah. I forgot about that actually. That's something that people do, yeah. Shazia, do you game? Huh? A little bit, what do you play? Minecraft. Wow, mashallah. Are you good? As a Muslim, you should be the best. Come on. Okay, my point that I'm trying to make is, other than Shazia, anybody who games, would you be okay? Would you be content to be average or below average in your game? Yes? Oh, stop gaming. Gaming is not for you. He's not being honest. This guy, I'll tell you guys a funny story. One day, he has class with me during the week. One fine day, he called me to tell me that he will not be coming to the masjid for class. Okay? He called, he said he's not coming to the masjid for class, and he made it seem, he said, I have to go home right now. I'm going with my mom, something is happening, da, 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 da. He made it seem like there was an emergency at home, and him and his mom had to run home. I said, oh, and the way he was like slowly whispering and talking, I was like, oh, you don't have to feel bad. No stress, go home, good luck, I'll check in with your dad later. So I saw his dad later in the evening. So I asked his dad, I said, is everything at home okay? He looked at me and he said, what do you mean? I said, Rizqa told me that he had to go home right away with his mom. I thought maybe something happened, there was an emergency at home. He started laughing. I said, what happened? He said, no, the story is, Rizqa told me, Baba, yesterday I didn't get to game. So today he needed to go home early to game. I said, no problem. But the way he packaged it was like, wow, you would have believed that there's a crisis at home and he needs to go home to sort it out. Right? So I know he's serious about his game, and I hope he's half decent at it, because otherwise don't waste your time, please. Focus, get learn more Qur'an. instead of being average at gaming. Right? If you're gonna game well, at least. That's the bottom line. But the idea is, nobody is happy. I mean, maybe he's a lot younger than me, so maybe new generation is different, I don't know. But I was never happy to be an average gamer. Right? There's no point dedicating your time to something and being lousy at it. If you game, you want to be good at it. And especially if you game with your friends, like there's no way you're going to live it down and go sit with your friends and you're the last guy in the room. Your ranking is at the bottom. You're going to be like, you, you again? Right? So everybody wants to excel. So the same mindset we have that when we play our hobbies, anybody who's into sports, I play soccer competitively, as you guys know. One of our Thursday evening team, we have a game next week on Thursday. It's our last game of the season. It's a must-win game if we want to make the playoffs. The whole team. There's nobody who is going to show up and say, it's okay, guys, we had a good year this year, alhamdulillah, it was a lot of fun. As long as we play 90 minutes and it finishes, who cares if we lose? It's okay. No, everybody's going to show up on Thursday and want to win so we can have one more game the following week. And if we win that one, we have one more game after that. Right? Nobody comes and puts on their boots and warms up, and then after 90 minutes, after they lose the game 6-0, alhamdulillah, at least we made it. The referee blew his final whistle, mashallah. There's nothing to complain about. No, everybody wants to win. Even those of you who missed it last week, we had the picnic, and we played 5-on-5, a small soccer game in the park. And I'm sure those of us who were playing wanted to win also. That's why you keep running after the ball. That's why you try to score. There's Ammu over there, mashallah, is a very good player. Amazing. May Allah bless him, right? Then everybody enjoyed and we competed and people want to do well. Then the same mindset you have for sports or the same mindset you have for gaming, you should have for yourself and other aspects of life like your education as well. If I am capable, it's a different ballgame if you are completely garbage and useless and you don't know how to game. But if you are capable, just like your friends and your buddies, you want to be good at the game. Then if I am capable, if Allah has given me all the ability, then when I study, I should also do well, inshallah. Anyhow, I spent lots of time on this. To summarize, the first thing I wanted to share with you guys is, be eager and excited to learn, do your best, and don't settle for less than that. Second thing that is very, very important when you go back to school is good company. Right? Be mindful of the people that you spend most of your time with. By the way, when you go to school, I'm fully aware, I'm not living in La La Land, that you cannot delete people from around you. There's no X button and the guy will disappear. People are going to exist. Good people, bad people, weird people, and everything in between. But the people that you choose to spend your time with, that's fully in your control. You cannot do anything about the weird guys over here or the weird girls over there, but where you go to spend your time, who you hang out with, who you walk home from school with, who you spend your lunch with, who you go out to eat with, who you game with, this is your choice. And you should be very, very careful about the people that you spend your time with. Why is that? There is an idea, a theory, I don't want to be too philosophical, but there is a concept that states that you are the sum of the 5 people you spend your most time with. And this can be a fun exercise that you guys can do when you go home. Sit for 2 minutes and think, who are the 5 people I spend most of my time with? And put their names in a list. And you will find out, this is the concept, that you as a person are basically the sum of these 5 people. Put these 5 people together, whatever qualities, traits, habits, practices they have, you have them too. Why? Because human beings by nature are beings that are influenced by our environment, are influenced by our surrounding. And especially from my position, the amount of times I can observe this, and sometimes some stuff catches you off guard, is unbelievable. If a person sits with a group of people a couple of times, the same person that you know, could be a classmate of mine, a friend of mine, maybe normally we share similar ideas, but all of a sudden they're away for a few months, or I'm away for a few months, and they spend time with a different circle of people. When they come back, how radically their ideas have changed, you can sense in a minute. You talk to them and you can see it's not the same person. Why? Because the people around them changed. Sometimes positively, sometimes negatively. Sometimes they come with weird ideas and you start wondering, is this the same guy Oh, no, I know where he spent the last 2 weekends. That's why he's coming like this. And then you start to talk and you start to slowly unwind, and they come back to, what you were previously used to. Then the idea is, be careful who you spend your time with. The Prophet ﷺ, he famously said, by the way, this idea of you're the sum of 5 people is psychology. 1400 years ago, what did the Prophet ﷺ say? He said something more powerful than that. What did he say? He said, "Al-mar'u ala dini khalilihi, falyanzur ahadukum man yukhalil." A person is on the religion of his friend. So make sure you choose who your friends are. What did he mean? Religion means way of life. This is very normal, by the way. As a human being, you're going to talk the way your friends around you talk. You're going to dress the way your friends around you dress. Your habits are going to be the habits of your friends that are around you. Your goals in life are going to be the goals of the people around you, right? And we can be more specific than that, but everybody knows what we're talking about. If the circle around you uses foul language regularly, they're going to use foul language. If the circle around you, this one, by the way, maybe can relate to the previous point. If the circle around you get good grades, you will get good grades, right? If the circle around you are all barely passing, you will either barely pass or fail, right? Because that's what tends to happen. They say that if you hang around let's take this step by step. If you hang around 4 smart people who do well in school, you'll be the 5th one. If you hang around 4 confident people that are confident in how they speak and how they express themselves, you will be the 5th one. If you hang around 4 religious people that pray salah on time, you will be the 5th one. If you hang around 4 people that are memorizing Qur'an, you will be the 5th one. If you hang around 4 successful businessmen, you will be the 5th one. I'm sure you guys have figured out by now the opposite is also true. Pardon my language. If you hang around 4 idiots, you will be the 5th one. You hang around 4 people that are careless about their studies and about their performance in school, you will be the 5th one. You hang around 4 people that are broke and unsuccessful in their business, you will be the 5th one. You hang around 4 people that are unfunny and boring, you will be the 5th one. You hang around 4 people that are lazy and unmotivated, you will be the 5th one, and so on and so forth. So be very careful what type of people you associate with and what type of people you keep company with. In saying that, as Muslims, we are civil with everyone. We are courteous to everyone. We are polite and respectful to everyone. We have hundreds of acquaintances at school. We will talk to everyone, say good morning to everyone, greet everyone with a smile. We will hold the door for anyone. We will offer to help anyone if they need help or they ask us for help. But who are those core people that we actually say are our friends that we associate with outside of school as well as on school property? Those people, you should actually have some thought behind why they are your friends. Either they help you to achieve something that you are working on, they share similar goals to you, they share similar values to you. If possible, make sure in your close circle there are other Muslims as well, which usually it's not impossible to happen. Maybe not everyone is Muslim, but make sure there are a couple of Muslims around you, just so that you see Islam and you see Islamic values around you. It's very, very, very important. So good company. Keep in mind, the 5 people you spend the most time with, they are basically going to be what you become. If you spend time with people that are successful, you will be successful. You spend time with people that are failures, most likely you will fail as well. The last thing, if you guys are following, and I am almost out of time, I promise Razka that I'll speak for half an hour. How much time do I have left? 10 minutes? Good. Inshallah, not bad. Okay. Let's review. What's the first thing that I wanted to share with you guys that's important to keep in mind when we go back to school? Who remembers? I need a student. Do the best that you can. Be eager to learn. Good. What was the second thing from you bunch? By the way, the assumption I have is you 3 are brothers, right? This is correct? Oh, mashallah, amazing. Love it. What was the second thing that I mentioned? No. Let me review with you guys. First one was do your best and be eager to learn. Second one was? You guys figured it out yet? Nothing? Come on. Play game. Huh? It's not that. Good company. Okay? So figure out who are the people that are around you, especially the 5 people you spend the most time with. Make sure they're good people that you have something in common with, and people that you would like to share something with. That you, if at the end of the day, this is how you can simply gauge it, right? And I've applied this at different moments in my life for different things. The 5 people that are around me, you should think, 10 years from now, if I become like all of these guys, will I be happy? Or would I look at myself and say, oh no, what went wrong? If the people that are around me in 10 years, I would be happy to be like them, then these are people worth spending my time with. If not, I better find new people to hang out with. Because if you hang out with people for years, most likely you will end up like them. And if already today you recognize that you don't want to be like them, then you better act on that information sooner rather than later. Example for how I applied this, I'll share this with you guys also. Fun fact for you guys, maybe something you can benefit from and apply as well. In my life of trying to, which I still do, learn and study Islam and teach Islam, one of the things that I had to figure out and think about was what kind of, teacher or what kind of Imam or mentor I would like to spend most of my time with. I am blessed and privileged, alhamdulillah, that with my beloved Shaykh Imam Ashraf, may Allah bless him, I spend the better part of at least 10 hours a week. Sometimes more than that. More times than not more than that with him. And that amount of time that I spend with him is based on a simple fact that a very long time ago, and until today I'm still convinced that when I got to know him and understand how he does what he does, I said if I can become like him, I'll be happy. It's as simple as that. If I see myself being like him in the future, that would be something that I am proud of and I'm happy about. There are many other imams and shuyukh that I've come across locally and from other parts of the world as well. They have good things that we benefit from, and they have other things that we maybe leave, right? But the person who I got to know and who I felt after knowing how he is as an imam, how he is as a human being, how he is as a family man, how he is as a working professional outside of the masjid, I felt like this guy is a high achiever and he is successful. In my eyes, at least. Somebody else may disagree and say, no, this is the ultimate failure. That's their opinion, their prerogative. But for me, I felt that this fellow is highly successful and I like what he does and I like where he's reached in his life. And if I spend enough time with him, I will likely end up like him. And that was my little analysis. Taban, obviously, I must say a disclaimer, I am not the ultimate genius. It wasn't, by my design or my effort. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blessed me and put him in front of me and guided me to be able to sit with him and spend time with him, and the rest is history. Anyways, one more review before we wrap up. 3 things you guys need to take when you go back to school. Number 1, an eagerness to learn. Don't settle for anything less. Have goals and try to be your best. Number 2, keep good company. You are some of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Number 3, this relates to students and parents and myself and everyone alike. Something very, 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 very important to keep in mind as we get ready to go back to school. What is that? Family time. Okay? This is one of the most important things in our life, and it's something that we have to put effort to maintain. That the Muslim family should have healthy family time. I know, and especially the culture that exists around us, the concept is that the summer is time for families to spend more time together, and then we go back to school and it's back to the routine and everything goes haywire. As Muslim families, especially as Muslim parents, and also as Muslim children, we should be committed to the idea of having healthy family time throughout the year. There is nothing, or a few things that can come close to this in terms of importance. What do I mean when I say healthy family time? I mean, let's be reasonable and practical. There should be a time when the whole family gets together regularly. This is to, communicate with each other, to share updates about their life. How was my day? How was your day? What's new at school this week? What are you doing for the weekend? Do we have any plans this month? Does anybody have anything exciting to share with the family? The easy way or the easy idea, and every family is different, take it and apply it in a way that works best for you. The easy idea that most people can relate to is that the family should eat together. I know these days this is very hard for many different reasons, right? Whether it's parents' work schedule, kids' Netflix schedule, however you slice it, is very challenging. But every family should put maximum effort to make sure that the family eats together. If you do this, and most of the time by extension of this, and I'm going to get to that inshallah, it's obviously, but that's a separate topic altogether. And there's a reason I'm focusing on eating together today, because this is how we can build the spirit of the family. But on a different night, we may talk about the importance of praying together. But praying together is a spiritual thing that inshallah every family should try to implement in their life, that at least one salah in the day, the family in the house pray together. Not every day, on weekends, one salah every day on Saturday and Sunday. Like if the work schedule is so conflicting that during the week it's not possible, on Saturday and Sunday, most families can afford to pray one salah a day together. The easy one, by the way, maybe it's not easy, but it's the obvious one that you can try. If the evening salahs are hard because people have other commitments and other plans, pray Fajr together. Everyone has to pray Fajr. It's in the early morning. No one can say, I have plans at 6 a.m. or I'm going out with my friends at 5:30 a.m. Then pick a time that works for everybody. Don't make it difficult for each other. Pick a time that works for everyone, when everyone can agree that this is the time we get up. If it's it's on the later side of Fajr, no problem, right? And I always tell people this. If Fajr starts at 5 and ends at 6:30, there is nothing wrong. It's not haram for the family to agree that we pray Fajr at 6 o'clock. If the kids will take an extra half an hour to sleep and get up, at 5:30, 5:40 and get ready and you guys can pray at 6 o'clock, do it. It's better than, and here we need some hikmah. Some parents will say, no, I pray when the time comes in at 5 o'clock. And the kids, after I pray, then I go wake them up. The most important thing is pray together as a family. And this is something sometimes people are missing, some basic wisdom, right? People will, I've seen this many times around me. People will get together for a social gathering in someone's house or somewhere where there's kids, there's young boys, young girls, and then the men will decide, yallah, we're going to the masjid to pray. It's good to pray in the masjid, I'm not denying. But it's either you take the kids with you, go to the masjid and pray, or you stay at home, once a week, twice a week, make sure that the family can pray together and everyone can feel that we are one family who worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and have some culture and some tradition of our own. Anyhow, that was a huge tangent. Let me get back to what I wanted to talk about. Family time. Try to eat together. It's very, very healthy. It's part of all of our cultures. I'm not saying anything that anybody is alien to. Every single Muslim culture, whether you are Arab, whether you are from Africa, whether you are from Indonesia, whether you are from, Guyana, whether you're from Canada, whether you are from, the subcontinent, India or Pakistan, all of our cultures, the idea that, families eat dinner together or have a meal together is pretty common. It's only in the last few years our very modern contemporary lifestyle has flipped this upside down. And again, I'm trying to be practical and realistic. I remember, growing up, it was not too long ago, but we used to, maybe this is the effort that my mom put, but we used to all eat dinner together every evening together. There was no concept that somebody can go get food on their own when other people are not eating. Like there is a time that was agreed on. Usually it was around Maghrib time, after Maghrib in the winter, maybe before Maghrib in the summer-ish, around that time. And we would all go get our food from the kitchen, sit together and eat. And that went on for a very long time, maybe till just before I got married. Eventually, we grew up, people started to go to university, college, a couple of us got married, and that practice is no longer there on a daily basis. But what did we reduce it to, even though not all of us live in the same house? Once a week, we all come to the same house and we have dinner at the same time together, and we sit together and we talk to each other and we make sure we have some family time. Then what I am suggesting, inshallah, is the bottom line. Especially if you have older kids, I know how challenging it could be, not because anybody doesn't want to, but because schedules don't match. Pick a day that works for everyone, when the parents are off work, when the kids don't have school, and make that day a day and a time when you guys will have dinner together. If you prefer to do lunch together, knock yourself out. If you are so ambitious and you want to try breakfast, go for it. But once a week at least, have a meal together, sit as a family, talk to each other, let the kids, force them if they don't like to, talk to their parents. You talk to them, so they have to talk back to you, because they can't look at the wall while you talk to them, right? And have healthy family time. The value of this cannot be measured and cannot be explained in words. Because as people grow and as people mature, one day as these kids start their own families, those conversations that they had with you as parents while you guys were eating, those are going to be the ideas that they have that they will now share with their children. And sometimes the opportunity for us to share, as parents, I'm not a parent, as you guys know. I have my parents, alhamdulillah, may Allah keep them alive and give them a long and healthy life. As parents, all of you who are parents know that when the kid is 5 years old and you sit with him and you feed it, not 5 hopefully, when he's 3 or 4 years old and you sit with him and you feed him, there's some stuff that you teach him, right? And it's very easy. It's pretty straightforward. You tell him about what's dangerous. Don't put your hand on the stove. That's hot. Wait, let it cool down first. Don't touch the tea. That's for me. Take your juice. Basic things. As the kid gets a little bit older, you can teach him some more advanced things that are relevant to his life. Newsflash for all of you, when your kids grow up and become older teenagers, they need education and mentorship from you more than they ever did. Because a lot of the stuff when they were younger is natural and inherent. They will figure it out. If you didn't tell your kid not to put his hand on the stove, guess what would have happened? He would have put his hand on the stove and figured it out for himself, and he will never do it again. But some, not us inshallah, but some Muslim young people out there are growing up, going through critical ages of life, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 years old. And the opportunity for their parents to share wisdom with them, to ask them about what they want to do in their life, what are your plans, what are your goals, and then the parents to offer some genuine advice. Because here's the reality. Some of the only people in the world who will ever give you genuine, unfiltered, raw advice are your parents. Your friends have the level of immaturity that you have. The content creators online are living on a different planet, and you can't rely on them for genuine advice. The people who know you, who know your strengths, who know your weaknesses, who know your passions, who know what annoys you, what makes you happy, who can listen to you and give you honest feedback as young people, are your parents. As parents, your children need that from you because nobody else can give that to them. Nobody can offer that. As many things as we can subcontract out or we can outsource, one of the things we cannot outsource is your input as parents into the life and the future of your children. If you don't have an opportunity and a platform where you guys can communicate and exchange ideas like that, then these children will be robbed of that opportunity. And kids who are robbed of that guidance and that mentorship in those crucial years, only Allah knows what will happen to them long term in the future. The point that I'm trying to make is, let us all inshallah have a commitment to have dedicated family time that we spend. And I am suggesting and sharing with you that even once a week can be a huge asset and it can be of huge value to your children and their future as parents. And as children, you will thank your parents later on in your life for the time they spent with you to listen to you and to offer you their feedback. With that, we've come to the conclusion of our little discussion for this evening. To summarize one more time, because I don't want anyone to forget, there are 3 things I want you to take away as you get ready to go back to school. Have an eagerness to learn, do your best, and don't settle for less. Keep good company around you. Remember that you are the sum of the 5 people you spend your time with the most. Number 3, be committed to spending time with your family. By the way, the once a week dinner is the bottom line. Please find a way to do more than that, right? Part of family time, for those of you who are watching online, that I always encourage is that this monthly family night, this monthly family halaqa has to be marked in your calendar. If you come to the masjid, good for you. If you don't come to the masjid and you're watching at home, gather the kids and the family and watch it live together. Having a schedule is very, very healthy. If you cannot do it live, the recordings are all there. Watch it the next evening together. But have it as part of your schedule. Scheduled family time in the month of your home is that you will attend family night. If you don't like our discourse here at Masjid Istiqlal, Toronto, by all means find another masjid. But be involved in a masjid where your family feels connected and they feel like they get value out of that particular masjid or Islamic center. There are many, many other ways that you can incorporate additional family time into your life. Make it a priority and make it something that you are focused, on, and something that you are committed to achieving. And inshallah, you will find that it will be extremely beneficial for you in the long run. With that, I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bring success and happiness to all of our young friends as they embark on the new school year. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to guide them and to help them to keep good company and to open their hearts and mind to be eager to learn and to have high goals and high ambition and to achieve their full potential. I will take this opportunity to ask you guys if you have any questions or comments before I conclude. Questions, comments, thoughts? This will give me a chance to drink water. No problem. Karina, welcome. How are you? Alhamdulillah, I'm good. What's up?
Something that I can give back to society. So what kind of advice do you give me so I can finally be able to set my mind? So I mean, is Islam does Islam teach us how to how to find a way? How did I say I know, but also because the thing is, I'm scared. Whenever I choose these things, I have a lot of doubts. Like I know education is most important thing, but I don't want this kind of nature I would say would be such a waste, and I cannot give my community
Of course.
the education I have. So do you have any advice? How can I make my mind up regarding the major I would say for my master's degree?
Excellent question. Before I answer, let me ask, what are you considering at this time? Do you have any ideas, like anything, any options?
Yeah.
What are they? Good.
Maybe early childhood, or I also have other passion for writing because my bachelor degree is in English.
Literature, yeah.
So those things are kind of like very separate. They are in entirely different ways. So I don't know how to
choose.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Sister asked a very good question for the benefit of those who are watching at home and following us online. She basically said that she is preparing to embark on a journey to complete her master's degree and is wondering, what discipline to choose and how she can make that choice. And she wants to know if Islam provides any guidance or any, insight into how she can make a good choice that she won't regret later, and specifically how she can make a good choice that will allow her to be someone who gives back to her community and to society around her. Couple of things that I'll say, and this is, I hope everyone can appreciate and understand, is very specific for Karina. If you are a different person, high chances are this may not apply to you. You can probably take the spirit of what I'm going to share with her and, take some of it into consideration. Karina, being somebody who is new in the country, I'd advise you to take time to get to know the environment around you, get familiar with the culture around you, and see where you see yourself fitting in. This is something I cannot tell you, your husband can't tell you, nobody can tell you. It'll take you, I don't know, 6 months, less maybe, a little bit more, to understand the climate around us in Canada. What the educational system looks like, what are some of the opportunities, what are some challenges that you've identified that you may face. Get familiar with your new environment, which will be your home, inshallah, for a long time, because it's a very different reality than the reality that you found back home where you came from. And that has to be factored in to the decision that you're going to make. So that's number one. Number two, I'd advise you, I see, mashallah, you come regularly to the masjid, may Allah bless you and open all the doors of goodness for you. Not to take anybody's opinion to make a decision, but consult with the other sisters, especially that are older than you, that are around you in the masjid, and get an idea from their perspective, what are some of the needs of our community, besides the society at large. So you out there are observing the Canadian society, seeing what opportunities exist, what challenges exist. If I want to become a professional writer, are there opportunities? If there are opportunities, what are some of the challenges? I want to be an educator. What are some of the opportunities? What are some of the challenges? What are some of the strengths I have to overcome those challenges? That's one exercise. Second exercise is within our community, talk to mothers and sisters who have experience in the community, and pick their brain for what is it that, as a young Muslim lady who is pursuing my education, how can I contribute and give back to this community? Is education a priority for this community? Is this community looking for educators? Are they looking for media personalities? Are they looking for writers? What is it that we have as a need over here? So collect that information along with your understanding and analysis of the society around you. Once you have that, those two pieces of information will be crucial for you to now think at a higher level about your possibilities and your options and what choice you're going to make. Those two sources of information may already push you towards one or the other, or may even force you to put those two options we just mentioned aside fully and say, oh, maybe there's something else altogether that I should consider. Maybe this is something new that I have an interest in. So that's something that I'll leave with you, inshallah, to think about and to figure out. Another thing is, think about, your genuine interests and hobbies and passions and what you see yourself lasting to do for a long time, for the long run. Meaning there's a difference between, and all of us have this, decision that we have to make. There are things that we enjoy at this age of life, but eventually in Canada, Milad can tell you all about it, the bills have to be paid. Right? So what can I do that I will last at doing for the next 20 years, the next 30 years, that I will not pull my hair out while doing? I'm not sure if education is something that you will last with forever. Maybe. Some people are educators by nature, and that's what brings peace and comfort to their heart. They're good with that. Other people, one day in the future, may like the opportunity to be more in their own space and operate independently and be more of a freelance type person, that I don't have an institution that I belong to and I do my work privately. These are things that you'd have to think about. Not now, but down the road when you guys grow your family and when you guys become more established, when you guys get older. What do you see yourself doing when you're 40, when you're 50? And do you feel like it's something that you're still going to be excited to wake up and continue to do? Is it something you're still going to be willing to do to continue to pay the bills and get by in life, right? So these are some pointers that I can share with you that you should start to think about. The most important thing that I'll leave with you, inshallah, is take your time, because when you're new in an environment, don't rush to make a decision, because you may very quickly learn to regret that. So take your time, figure out the landscape of things around you, figure out the possibilities, figure out the options. They say Canada's a land of opportunity. You may find some doors that you never imagined existed that you can walk through, and eventually it may open a world of possibilities that you may love and enjoy, may lead to your complete success in this world, and you may be very happy. So take your time, explore the opportunities, explore the possibilities, learn the landscape of the society around you before you make any crucial decision that will stay with you inshallah for the rest of your life. I know I didn't give you an answer to go left or right, but I hope I gave you some stuff that you can think about that can keep you busy for the next few months inshallah. Are you satisfied with that? May Allah bless you. We'll make lots of dua for you inshallah. May Allah guide you to do what is best for you and that which will ultimately lead to your success in this dunya as well as in the akhirah. Does anybody have any other questions or comments? No? Very good. Brother Ned, are you ready to go back to school? Inshallah. I didn't try Brother Ned's coffee today. Maybe I have to get some on my way out if there's any left. Ahbab, Jazakallah khair for attentive listening. May Allah bless all of you. There's one thing that's very important that I have to let you guys know. Those of you that do not know, I will be traveling inshallah a week from Tuesday. And I will be away for 3 weeks. I will definitely miss all of you guys. I don't know if I told you guys this before, but one of my brothers was talking about the possibility of relocating to Calgary. I don't have to tell you why. Everybody should understand why. And he was asking me what I think, would I ever consider it. Probably doesn't want to go by himself. He was trying to gauge, is there interest close to home for people to go to Calgary with him? I told him, I said, it's something I would consider. If I can pick up Masjid Istiqlal and take the whole Jama'ah with me and go to Calgary, I'll take them. But as long as the masjid is here and you guys are here, then I'm here close to home, inshallah. So I'll be away for 3 weeks. I'll definitely miss you guys. I hope and pray, inshallah, that you guys find benefit while I'm gone. We will make some arrangements to make sure that the halaqat continue. I believe I am scheduled to give khutbah with you guys on the upcoming Friday, so I'll see you just before I leave. And if anything changes, then you guys will figure it out, inshallah. While I am away, I ask you guys to make dua for me and my family that we have a safe travel. I'm going to visit Kenya, which is a country where my father is originally from. That's where he was born. That's where his family is. Visiting my aunts and uncles and cousins for the first time in my life, believe it or not. First time. Oh yeah?
Yeah, it's been for about 9 years that I haven't.
Okay. Your parents even? Yeah. SubhanAllah. May Allah make it easy for you to see them again, inshallah. So make dua for me, inshallah, and I'll definitely make dua for you guys while I'm traveling. The dua of the traveler is accepted as per the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ. And we will see each other when I am back, inshallah, which will be September 26th. So I will be with you guys for family night in the month of September, inshallah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless all of you and may He protect you from all evil. Barakallahu feekum wa ahsanallahu ilaykum. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.